Zealandia Ecosanctuary. Imagine this. You are in the heart of a bustling city, but 1 minute later, you are deep in a prehistoric forest teeming with rare birds, ancient reptiles, and glowworms that light up the night like stars. No, this isn't Jurassic Park. It's Zealandia, Wellington's game-changing eco-sanctuary just 10 minutes from downtown. Today, we are diving into New Zealand's wild side. Stick around to see why this place is a must-visit for any nature lover. Let's go! Zealandia Te Māra Tāne, formerly Kererū Wildlife Sanctuary, is the world's first fully fenced urban eco-sanctuary. Spanning 225 hectares, that's about 1 square mile. It's right here in Wellington, New Zealand. But here's the cool part. It's on a 500-year mission to rewind the clock. Back in pre-human times, this valley was blanketed in native broadleaf forest with kākā, rimu, and kāu palms. Then came European settlers, fires in the 1850s, and invasive predators that wiped out 60% of the New Zealand's native birds. Zealandia flips that script with an 8.6 kilometer state-of-the-art fence that keeps out rats, stoats, and possums. Since 1999, they have reintroduced over 20 species, turning this urban spot into a biodiversity hotspot. Over 40 native bird species call it home now, 24 endemic to New Zealand. It is so successful, native birds are actually increasing in central Wellington.
Relatively square to make it into a clipboard. Yeah. Looks like a bird cast.
The general admission ticket gives you access to tracks that are easy through to steep, where you can spot abundant native wildlife among the regenerating forest. It also gives you access to an indoor exhibition where you can see a life-size model of an extinct moa, learn about the natural history of Aotearoa, New Zealand, and understand how Zealandia came to be.
All visitors must pass through a multi-stage biosecurity process before entering the main sanctuary filing. The actual entrance to the predator-free sanctuary is a system of double biosecurity gates, designed to prevent any animals from running in during entry and exit.
Visitors generally spend 2 to 3 hours in the sanctuary, but Zealandia encourages you to make a whole day of it. Take your time while exploring because native New Zealand birds tend to be well camouflaged and always in a hurry. You really need to factor in time to stop, listen and look for them and for the equally elusive reptiles and insects who may be hiding just out of sight. Take a moment to read the signage around the valley with information about the flora and fauna. The native species of Aotearoa, New Zealand tend to be secretive. So if you are self-guiding, it's worth doing a little research. With your ticket, you will get a map with photos of some of the key species to look out for. The general admission ticket is valid for 2 consecutive days during normal opening hours. Alright, let's start our adventure. It seems they have spotted something. Let's go and see. Oh, it's a cute baby kākā.
You can find a lot of display boards giving information about the animals in the park.
Let's see how many of them we can spot today. What is that bird doing in the middle of the road? It's a Californian quail family crossing the road.
They are instantly recognizable by the teardrop-shaped plume that pops from their forehead as they walk. California quail is actually an introduced species from Northern America, brought to New Zealand in the 1860s for game hunting. Because of the safety from predator-proof fences in Zealandia, you will often see exceptionally large corvids and many successful broods of tiny, fussy chicks scurrying behind their parents in the summer months.
A female chaffinch, a very common garden and forest edge bird throughout New Zealand. Little black shags and pied shags resting on the trees. Oh, and giant wētā insects, some bigger than your thumb, that were thought extinct in Wellington until Zealandia brought them back. New Zealand bellbirds are endemic to New Zealand and are known for their beautiful melodic song that sounds like bells ringing. Then there's the kākā, a cheeky alpine parrot with a laugh like a pirate. Watch this one raiding a feed. Total chaos.
Kākā were reintroduced to Zealandia starting in 2002 with just 14 captive-bred juveniles from various zoos. The population has thrived. As of recent years, over 1,000 kākā have been banded at the sanctuary. They have become so successful that they are now a common sight throughout central Wellington. One of the original birds was taught to wolf whistle by zoo staff, and this call has been passed down through generations. It is now a signature sound of the Wellington kākā population.
The kererū, New Zealand's chunky native pigeon. Listen to those wings. Sound like a chopper taking off. They are fruit eaters that help spread seeds, and populations here have boomed. But the real showstoppers? The Tuatara, living fossils that haven't changed in 200 million years. These spiky reptiles bask by day and hunt at night. The founder population of Tuatara at Zealandia can still be identified by the beads at the back of their necks. These beads were used to identify individuals without the need to catch them. Did you know Tuatara, like lizards, have a third eye on the top of the head? The eye has a retina, lens and nerve endings, but isn't used for seeing. It is visible under young Tuatara skin, but after a few months it becomes covered with scales and pigment, making it less visible. This parietal eye is sensitive to light, and it's believed that it may help Tuatara judge the season or even the time of the day. And don't miss the tui, with their iridescent feathers and songbird symphony that rivals any opera.
In the mid-1990s, it was estimated that only about 6 breeding pairs of tui remained in the entire Wellington area. Since Zealandia was fenced and predators were removed, the population has exploded. Research shows an 11-fold increase in tui counts within the sanctuary since the project began. They are now the most frequently recorded bird in the valley. The poi, their most famous feature, is the pair of white curled feather tufts under their throat.
The pīwakawaka is one of the friendliest, most recognizable and most loved birds in Aotearoa.
One of the most charming things about pīwakawaka is their habit of following hikers. As you walk, you stir up tiny insects from leaf litter and the pīwakawaka swoops in to catch the buffet you created.
Zealandia's story starts gritty. This valley supplied Wellington's water from the 1800s with a massive concrete dam built in 1908. But farming and invasive turned it barren. In the 90s, visionaries said, "Let's restore it." They planted over 2 million native trees, eradicated pests, and viola, forest regeneration in action. Today, it's a lab for conservation. Research on everything from bird calls to freshwater fish. There are at least 5 species of skink at Zealandia. Skinks have smooth, shiny skin and narrow heads and are mostly ground dwelling. The common blackbird is very widespread in Europe and has also been introduced to Australia and New Zealand, where it's now one of the most familiar garden birds. A New Zealand falcon in flight. The tiny riroriro, the grey warbler, is the voice of the New Zealand bush. Its long cascading trill rings out from the canopy all year round. Yet, the plain little bird itself is almost impossible to spot among the leaves. North Island robin. These little birds are famously fearless and curious. They will often follow people through the bush, hoping to catch insects disturbed by footsteps. Whitehead are one of the classic small songbirds of Zealandia. Very common, noisy and curious. The charismatic tīeke, or the North Island saddleback. Jet black with its glowing chestnut saddle and dangling red bottles, is a loud, fearless forest clown that was once down to just 500 birds on a single island, but has bounced back spectacularly thanks to predator-free sanctuaries and island translocations. The bright green kākāriki, or the red-crowned parakeet. With its flashing crimson forehead and rump, is a cheeky acrobatic bundle of energy that tumbles through the canopy like a living emerald, delighting everyone lucky enough to spot one on a predator-free island or mainland sanctuary.
The well tower for the lower Kererū dam is situated in the surrounding lake and accessed via a bridge. This tower and a boat shed were built at approximately the same time as the dam.
Getting here is easy. Free electric shuttles from Wellington Eyesight, Te Papa Museum or the cable car top. Open daily 9 am to 5 pm. Self-guided entry is 31 New Zealand dollars for adults, valid for 2 days, and for kids $12. Hike 20 kilometers of trails from easy lakeside loops to challenging bush tracks. Guided tours, Zealandia by day tour, 70 New Zealand dollars, and Zealandia by night tour, 120 New Zealand dollars, or photography specials. Feeling lazy? Hop on an electric boat cruise. Zealandia isn't just a park, it's hope in action. In a world losing species daily, this proves we can heal our wild places even in cities. It's a reminder. Nature's resilience is epic, but it needs us. Visiting supports rewilding Wellington and maybe your own backyard.
One in the feed. One in the feed.
Refuel at Rata Cafe. Sustainable eats with valley views. And the store? Grab Maori-inspired art or eco-gifts. Proceeds fund the sanctuary. Pack bug spray, comfy shoes and binoculars. If this fired you up, hit like, subscribe for more New Zealand adventures, and comment, would you brave a kiwi hunt at night? Check the Zealandia website for tickets. Link is in description. Thanks for joining the wild side. See you next time from Aotearoa.